Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian addressed the governors of all provinces, stating that he regularly receives reports from the provinces, with some indicating that citizens are experiencing severe shortages in daily necessities amid multiple rounds of airstrikes by U.S. Israeli coalition forces on Iranian territory, which have caused extensive damage to domestic infrastructure. President Pezeshkian issued urgent directives to the governors of Iran's 31 provinces. Pezeshkian instructed provinces with lighter damage to dispatch food, fuel, and medical supplies to those heavily affected by intense airstrikes. The 18th of March airstrike on the South Pars natural gas field has resulted in extremely unstable nationwide electricity supply, with natural gas shortages severely impacting civilian life. Pezeshkian's address aimed to reassure the public and prevent large-scale social unrest arising from these shortages. He directed governors to personally oversee the distribution of supplies to combat potential hoarding and black market activities amid the chaos of the airstrikes. Iranian Brigadier General Abolfazl Shekarchi issued a global threat directed at the American Zionist enemy, stating, "From now on, based on the information we possess about you, leisure centers, tourist attractions, and entertainment venues worldwide will no longer be safe for you." Shekarchi's remarks explicitly expand the scope of potential strikes from military targets to civilian recreational facilities globally. This suggests that Iran may deploy its overseas agent networks, remnants of the Quds force, or regional proxies such as Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Houthis to target tourist sites, shopping malls, or amusement parks in Western countries. His reference to information we possess implies that Iran may have acquired substantial data on the private travel itineraries and patterns of Western citizens or officials. The U.S. Department of State issued an emergency worldwide travel advisory update on the 20th of March, urging citizens to exercise heightened vigilance at tourist sites in Europe, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Israel's Mossad has intensified security coordination for global Jewish community centers and locations frequented by Israeli tourists. The Swiss Federal Council issued an official statement citing Switzerland's Neutrality Act and War Material Act, announcing the suspension of new war material export licenses to countries involved in the current international armed conflict. This decision primarily targets the United States. Swiss authorities explicitly stated that, given us military operations against Iran since the 28th of February, new authorizations for war material exports to the United States cannot currently be granted. Previously, Switzerland had rejected 2 U.S. requests for reconnaissance aircraft to overfly its territory on the grounds that such flights directly supported operations in the war against Iran. However, Switzerland continues to permit overflights for medical evacuation and humanitarian purposes. U.S. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard recently delivered a significant statement, affirming that U.S. intelligence agencies possess high confidence regarding the precise locations of Iran's stockpiles of enriched uranium. Gabbard made these remarks during a hearing before the House Intelligence Committee. In response to questions on the Iranian nuclear threat, she confirmed the U.S. intelligence community's high level of certainty about the physical locations of Iran's highly enriched uranium stockpiles. According to prior disclosures by International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi, Iran possesses approximately 440.9 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60% purity. With this intelligence confirmation, the Pentagon is now deliberating whether to deploy special operations forces into Iranian territory for nuclear material recovery missions, as airstrikes alone are deemed insufficient to fully destroy these deeply buried radioactive substances.